Welcome everyone to this section of our Rotary Foundation Basics series. This is on fundraising. It is fundraising in support of the Rotary Foundation. It is directed primarily to club leaders and Rotary Foundation chairs, but is also of value to all Rotarians. So please stick with us as we go through fundraising for the Rotary Foundation. I am past District Governor Ray Shire. I currently serve as the Rotary Foundation fundraising chair for our district. So if you have any questions regarding this section, please be sure to get a hold of me or Rotary Foundation Chair Roger McGonigal for additional support and help. So let's plunge right into fundraising in support of the Rotary Foundation, shall we? The Rotary Foundation is supported by Rotarians through a few separate funds that are separately maintained by the Rotary Foundation. First of all is the PolioPlus Fund. This is what is known in our drive to end polio now, and these are dedicated dollars in support of polio eradication. The annual fund is the primary source of funding for foundation grants and activities. It's the source for our district grant program, and a portion of that also goes to support the global grants, formerly known as matching grants, for our international work. And finally, the Endowment Fund is to secure the future of the Rotary Foundation into perpetuity. This is our investment fund. This is what we lay away for the rainy day in order to secure that our work will continue for generations to come. Rotary's own financial support for PolioPlus has been going on for many years, but in the past few years, we've been joined by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation through a series of matching grants. And from 2013 to 2018, when we do expect to declare the eradication of polio worldwide, every dollar that Rotary commits in direct support of polio immunization, up to $35 million a year, will be matched by an additional $2 from the Gates Foundation. So this means that your contributions to the Rotary Polio Plus program will have 3 times the impact through the year 2018. As we noted before, the annual fund is the primary funding source for Rotary grants and activities. It supports our local and international grants through the share system. And the share system is where the Rotary Foundation invests some, and we share our dollars with them, and the rest of it is returned to our district. Contributions to the annual fund are credited to your club as well as you as an individual, and they are applied to your club's goal for the year so that you get credit for your good work and recognition at the time of our annual foundation gala. Every Rotarian every year is not a fund, actually, it's an effort, and it is primarily to support the annual fund. We encourage every Rotarian to participate in the foundation by volunteering for activities and by contributing to the annual fund annually. So as a club leader or as a Rotary Foundation chair, or even as a Rotarian interested in the work that we do through the Rotary Foundation, consider ways that you can motivate members of your club to give to the Foundation annual fund each and every year. How might you encourage them to do that? Well, remember, every Rotarian every year is, every dollar counts. It doesn't have to be a minimum amount. It can be the price of a cup of coffee every week, or $5 a month, or something small. So you might have some kind of fun sort of drive that encourages every Rotarian every year, such as Burger Bucks. Give up a burger this week and put it in to the Every Rotarian Every Year effort to support the Rotary Foundation. So I'm sure you're more creative than I am, and you can think of great ways to encourage your members to support the Rotary Foundation with whatever they can afford. And consider also, what is the current giving pattern among your club members? How can you motivate them to step it up past just giving a little bit, moving on to that next level? Think of great ways that you can recognize them, and take a look at our video on recognition, great ways that you can recognize them at your club and in your community for their support of the Rotary Foundation. If a Rotarian gives at least $100 every year to the annual fund, we call them a sustaining member, and we recognize them with a sticker that they can affix to their Rotary Club name badges. So why do you think that recognition might be important? Well, think about all of the things that you've worked hardest for in your life, and what was the reward for that? Well, in many cases, it was the thank you that you received for your hard work. It might have been just a small note of thanks or just a smile and a thank you. But in so many cases, recognition really warms the heart of someone who has given of their time, of their treasure, or their talent. And also, you might consider not just Rotary money among your members, but what about other people's money? What kind of successful fundraiser could you put together that would specifically support the Rotary Foundation? I'll give you an example of the Rotary Club of Fullerton, which every year holds Jogathon, and it involves all the local high schools in Fullerton, and it specifically is branded to support the effort to end polio now. And they have given thousands and thousands of dollars to that effort through that very successful community-based fundraiser. What do those dollars mean? Well, for only $100, what can you get? Well, 2 desks for an elementary school in Honduras. Or maybe you might want to get 50 mosquito nets for women and children in Tanzania. Or a full year of tuition for a high school student in China. It's only $100. How far your dollars go. For $1,000, the level of a Paul Harris Fellow recognition, you can purchase a portable dental chair and provide dental care to indigenous children in Mexico. Or you might invest in 400 pairs of eyeglasses for people in Nigeria. Or you may hand out 3 microloans for women in Guatemala to start businesses that will support their families. $1,000 to the Rotary Foundation, recognition as a Paul Harris Fellow, and changing the lives of people worldwide. $10,000. $10,000 raised by your Rotary Club at a successful fundraiser or contributed by you in a banner year when you become a major donor could refurbish school buses for 3 communities in Mexico, or could purchase bakery equipment at a vocational training center for disabled children in the Sudan, or it could dig 2 water wells in impoverished Haiti. $10,000 raised by your Rotary Club can change the world. A $15,000 contribution could become a global grant matched by $15,000 by the Rotary Foundation and dedicated to an area of focus that you specify or that your club specifies. For example, your geographic preference may be in any area of the world, but we'd love to see you working in Africa, Asia, or Latin America. And special opportunities are available to those who wish to support grant activities through a term gift. This is generally a one-time gift used in its entirety for that specific purpose, and it carries the name of a donor of the loved one. For example, it might be the Robert and Jane Smith Term Global Grant for Basic Education and Literacy. And each term gift will be individually tracked and reported to the donor. Now, we did have someone in our district that did this with a very large donation, larger than $15,000, named after his late wife, and it was specifically designated for the area of focus of water and sanitation. So that gift will continue to earn interest, and it will continue to be distributed in support of projects for water and sanitation, with reports going back to the donors who established that specific fund. The Endowment Fund is for the long-term survival of the Rotary Foundation. It's our investment fund, and we only spend the earnings because we are investing and preserving our nest egg, and so we would love you to increase the nest egg. These funds are held in perpetuity. They are professionally invested, and a portion of the earnings is used each year for purposes specified by the trustees. And one of the things that they do with the interest on the endowment fund is they add it to the district designated fund. This is the amount that is coming back to the district for use as district grants. So not only is it one half of what we contributed to the annual fund 3 years ago, but then they'll tack on interest from the endowment fund to that to increase the amount that is available for district grants. The endowment fund offers donors a way to create their own lasting legacy through the Rotary Foundation. So again, you may name a fund of the endowment fund in your name or the name of a loved one, and that will be in perpetuity as a recognition of your donation to the Rotary Foundation. Further on that, an endowed naming opportunity. Well, this could be a custom fund within the endowment fund that directs its earnings to a specific purpose. For example, the fund can carry the name of a donor or a loved one, and it could be an endowed global grant for maternal and child health, and the earnings are tracked separately, and the donors received an annual update on their endowed funds. The options will vary depending on the size and purpose of the gift. So $25,000 named endowed fund will provide general support to the share program. This is the annual fund money that is split, comes back to us as the district and used in part by the Rotary Foundation. Or the World Fund, which is designated exclusively for international projects or for the Rotary Peace Centers. For $100,000 or more, you can tag it to an area of focus or an annual seminar at a Rotary Peace Center. Now, on this endowed naming opportunities, we actually do have another Rotarian in our district who took advantage of this. We do have an endowed fund for Peace Scholars that is supported through a donation by a past district governor in our district. Even bigger endowed naming opportunities involve $250,000 of global grant endowed funds, which might support global grants in one or more of Rotary's areas of focus, and you can specify that the area of focus in the district will develop that grant, as well as any activity type, such as whether it'll be a humanitarian project, a scholarship, or a vocational training team. And for a $500,000 global grant endowed fund, you have even more naming rights, including the area of focus, the Endowed Studies, Peace Fellow Program, Master's Program, and $1 million. Golly, we're going to craft a grant exactly the way you want it in the Endowed Fund, and all of the earnings from that specified $1 million will go to that grant that you have handcrafted with the Rotary Foundation in perpetuity. One of the goals of the Rotary Foundation in fundraising generally is to increase support of our Rotary Peace Centers. Now, our Peace Centers are around the world, several universities participating, and districts nominate and support Rotary Peace Fellows that are selected by the trustees of the Rotary Foundation to study for a period of time in these certificate programs at our Peace Centers around the world. We are really looking to more fully endow this program and would love to establish $125 million set aside into the Rotary Peace Centers program by the end of calendar year 2015. So we're focusing during that time on major gifts of $10,000 or more, and especially $100,000 or more, to fund the Rotary Peace Centers initiative. So those of you who know of people in your circle, not just Rotarians, but in the public, humanitarians and philanthropists throughout our area, keep alert for those who are especially interested in the promotion of peace, because, you know, it's not a bad cause, and it is something that can be very attractive to those that you know who are looking to improve the world through our peace efforts. If you have someone that you'd like to identify that is interested in supporting our peace programs, you can contact me or Rotary Foundation Chair Roger McGonigal, and we will help you in directing information to that person and assisting them with establishing their endowment at the Rotary Foundation in support of peace. Once someone has made the commitment to make a gift of any kind, there are a lot of ways to do that. First of all, we really encourage you as a Rotarian, and we ask that club leaders, including Rotary Foundation chairs at the clubs, to publicize Rotary Direct. Now, this is online at rotary.org, and you sign up for it. You specify how often you are going to be paying for it. It's a credit card transaction, and it's whatever amount you specify, and it will automatically then be charged to the account on that period of time and for that amount. It's the easiest way to give. You can designate annual fund, polio, whatever you'd like through that, and you do it and forget it, and it's an easy way to become a Paul Harris Fellow or commit to the Paul Harris Society. I think it's $83.33 a month or something in order to make that commitment of $1,000 a year. So Rotary Direct, your first line of attack for giving to the Rotary Foundation. But we'll also accept checks, wires, drafts, old-fashioned money. Don't send cash. That's the only thing we don't like you to send. Also, identify the Rotary Foundation in any employee matching program available through your employer. If you have an airline miles card and you want to designate the Rotary Foundation as the recipient for that, we can do that as well. We accept personal property, real estate, securities. All of these things can be handled by the Rotary Foundation. If you would like that to happen, you can contact the Rotary Foundation Contact Center directly, and they will assist you in how we handle those sorts of transactions. Then, of course, there is planned giving. This is handling your estate, and we have a team of gift and estate planning professionals here in the district, and also the support of regional coordinators and the Rotary Foundation. And we have a variety of planned giving techniques that we can walk you through and introduce you to so that you might take advantage of these advanced planning techniques at a very low cost and benefit the Rotary Foundation into the future. Finally, we have donor-advised funds at the Rotary Foundation where you can establish, usually for $10,000 or more, a fund in your name that you direct. And of course, we do want that to be directed towards Rotary goals, but that is something you can discuss with the Rotary Foundation as you establish a donor-advised fund and you determine what grant that will benefit. So, as a Rotary Club leader, Rotary Club Foundation chair within your club, or even as a regular Rotarian, a new Rotarian, how can you best support and take action for the Rotary Foundation? Well, first of all, participate yourself through the recurring giving program, Rotary Direct online, and give whatever you can every year, every Rotarian, every year of whatever amount. Secondly, if you're financially able to give $1,000 each and every year, please join the Paul Harris Society. And third, consider making an outright gift or a commitment in your estate plans to support the Rotary's Endowment Fund to ensure Rotary's financial future. If you have any questions, as I said, about this section on the Rotary Foundation fundraising, contact me, Ray Shire, the District Foundation Chair. And for support in giving at your Rotary Club for the annual giving efforts, every Rotarian every year, achieving a sustaining member recognition, Paul Harris, 100% Paul Harris Fellow Club, any of these things where you have a particular drive that you want to carry out in your Rotary Club, please contact our annual giving chair, Ray Benedictus, at the email on the screen. And finally, if you have questions regarding the Rotary Foundation programs that are of a more advanced nature, or you're not able to get a hold of a district representative, or you feel you need more information than we're able to provide, please contact the contact center at rotary.org, where they are very efficient and knowledgeable representatives will be more than happy to represent you. Thank you so much for spending the time with us today on Rotary Foundation fundraising and supporting the Rotary Foundation by your Rotarian and club efforts. For Rotary District 5320, this is past District Governor Ray Shire signing out.